Hey everybody, welcome back to another installment of OMNIBROS live here on the Omnibus Collectors Network. It's your boy Gio here, aka Manga Geekdom, and of course I am joined by the legendary William T. Dustis, aka the Omnibus Collector. There's no one like him. So there you go, the Omnibus Collector himself. Riley, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing all right. Today's been kind of like it started out like super sunny, and then in the afternoon it was like hurricane season all of a sudden, and it stopped raining a couple hours ago, but it stayed like all wet and chill, and I hate that kind of weather. So I'm feeling kind of bluesy right now
We
because of
had
it.
the we had a couple of really heavy rain days recently,
Oh
and which is
no,
nice. Been through a drought.
that's
Um,
good.
yeah, so that was good, but like it's dried up now at this point again. But it was nice for a minute because the weather was cool, and now it's getting hot again, and like I don't know, it's not as fun. But I had a really lazy day. My job was canceled for the day, so like I was just at home, and Chewy woke me up at 6 o'clock to get his morning walk in.
Woo.
And usually he's polite and waits until after 7, but I don't know what was up this morning. But he got me up, and it was still dark out. I'm like, dude, come on.
Yeah.
Uh, so I had to get up and do that, and then I came back and took a nap, and then I took another nap later in the day. So it's been a really lazy day for me.
That's awesome. I mean, once every blue moon to have a day like that, that's sweet.
Yeah.
I envy you.
I wish I'd gotten more done because I wanted to read through my stack is now dwindling. And so I
Ooh.
wanted to get through it the past couple days, but I've just either gotten distracted or been busy or just been way too exhausted.
Yeah. Chatters, thank you. Everybody's showing up. Let's go. James, our wonderful mod, thank you so much, buddy. Chill with Cat. I will believe you. Obviously, it doesn't show up on StreamYard, but the people in the chat can see it. Uh, Same with the face, Fuchsia Wide Eyes, of course. That's wonderful. William Lee is in the chat. Bean Queenie, thank you so much for joining. Happy Thursday. It's almost the weekend, which is great. We have a bunch of stuff to talk about tonight. I got some solicits. I got some digital announcements, which one of them is pretty cool, and hopefully it makes the transition to physical. We need that one. And we got a very cool news article that we're going to share in a minute. And our co-host here is going to tell us all about it, which is really exciting. And a bunch of new releases. Unfortunately, new manga releases, I should say. Unfortunately, I couldn't be on last week, so I'm combining some of those topics from that week that I couldn't do the show. By the way, thank you, Colleen and Willie T. Dustis, for filling in and doing the show. That was great. And the funny thing is, I actually got power back while you both were still on, but I think it was like 30 minutes uh, before the show would end. Sorry, and I'm like, I'm not gonna bother. I'm just gonna ruin the flow. It was already heading down towards the sunset on its way out. I don't want to derail it. But thank you guys. I appreciate that. It was a really weird thing. Someday we'll talk about it. It doesn't relate to the show, so we're not going to mention it. Um, what else? Oh, okay. So new manga releases that are coming out. They're digital. You can read them for free on the Manga Plus thing website, and that's what I'm doing lately. And I have a lot of fun reading those and talking about it here, sort of first impressions, if you will. And recently they announced that they're going to be changing things on their website. We don't know if they're going to update the whole thing, if they're going to do like a subscription service. Something's going to happen soon. There's a notice for it. If you go to the website real quick, Manga Plus, the little ad thing says, nope, not that ad. What the hell? Okay, now it's not opening. Fantastic. Hold on. What are you guys doing? Oh, I know where I can go. Notice of service renewal. There it is. If it'll open. Let's see. It says, I'm not going to share the page, but I can read it for you guys. Manga Plus by Shueisha. Thank you for always using Manga Plus. Exciting changes are coming. We're gearing up for a major update to enhance our platform. Among the upcoming enhancements will be changes to the available manga. More information coming with the renewal. We appreciate your continued support. That's fine, but the fact that one of the upcoming changes or enhancements is with the actual books makes me think it's going to be they're going to start doing a subscription service or something.
I hope that's it, because it could be that, or it could be like they're gonna be removing some stuff, or maybe they're gonna have, because it's Shueisha only, Manga Plus is the Shueisha thing. So I wonder if maybe they pull kind of what Viz had on their app, where they added the Shogakukan stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We could add another. I don't know if it's a possibility for that app. I'm just saying, like, that's something else. They have other things that they put on there, but.
And the weird thing about this website is that everything right now is for free. You can go in and read series for free. That's wonderful. Legally, that's great. God bless them. But they really want you to use your phone. And for older series, like the middle portion, it'll be locked out and it says, read it on the phone. And you're thinking, oh, maybe on the phone you're going to have to pay. No, it's free there. They just want you to read manga on your mobile device. That's it. And if you're stuck on a series, just go to the iPhone or Android and you can read it there. So I would assume they want to start charging for stuff, because this all can't be for cheap, Hopefully it's not too expensive.
Maybe it'll just be a cheap subscription like Viz or the Shonen.
If it's like $2 or $3, I'm game. I actually really like using it, and it combines the Shonen Jump stuff as well. So it makes it easier for me to read everything on one app. But there you go. The keyboard's back. By the way, I find it creepy that the Evangelion poster is the only thing unblurred right now.
Well, there's also Jotaro right here.
Oh, Jotaro. Okay.
Sometimes.
That's cool. So, yeah, that happened. And from Manga Plus, I bring you guys 4 different first impressions. Now, one of these, or 2 of them, are really bizarre, so I'm going to struggle to properly talk about them. So bear with me, because it's some wacky concepts. Yeah, we got, let me just read the titles first, and we can go about it later. I got Mamayuyu, which started last week. That was what I was going to talk about with you guys on the last show. After that, Diasporazer. I hope I said that right. I don't know. I probably am mispronouncing it. I don't care. Kagurabachi, which has a lot of memes right now for it, and people are like hyping it up. I got some words on that. And finally, what's the other one? Buddy Daddy. Buddy Daddy? Yeah, no, sorry. Daddy and Buddy. There we go. Buddy Daddies is an anime series. My bad.
What was that one series that was something? Is that the one that looked kind of like Spy Family?
Buddy Daddy?
Or was that another one?
Buddy Daddies is an original anime from, I think it was Progressive Animation Works. PA Works. That's my favorite animation studio. And it's about 2 hitmen. They're best friends, and they are doing a case, and they meet this young girl that happens to be involved with the hit that they're doing, and they end up adopting her, and they become a family, the 3 of them.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking about.
If you want a more realistic spy family, watch Buddy Daddies. I loved it. I thought it was great. Bing. So, before all of that and more, I got to remind everybody about our wonderful sponsor, and that is, of course, InStockTrades.com, your home for all things collected editions. You get your Omnibus, trade paperbacks, hardcovers, manga, and so much more with great deals that range from 42 to 50% off at times with the deals of the week. Free shipping in the US on orders of $50 or more. Loyalty discount adds an extra 2% to your order if you buy on a weekly basis. Great packaging, wonderful customer service, fantastic website overall. That is InStockTrades.com, our official sponsor. Let me highlight the website real quick here, so you can see some of the deals of the week.
Doing all
That's Jess's mouth harp.
Oh, I forgot I have 3 instruments. I've got a harmonica.
Oh, you got a harmonica. Nice. Heck yeah. So you can see here, deals of the week. You got that Nightfall Omnibus that Jess absolutely loves. Everybody should let him know how much it means to them that Jess loves that book. And if you want to ask for him to review it, that'd be fantastic. Go ahead and do that on his channel, by the way, not on ours. Just go to OmniDog's Vault and tell everybody and tell Jess that we all want him to talk more about Nightfall, please.
We want Nightfall.
Yes. So you can see here, deals of the week. You got Nightfall, World's Finest, hardcover 2, the Maestro Omnibus, and Sins of Sinister, hardcover. And we got some manga too, some new releases with great prices.
New prices with great releases.
It's InStockTrades.com. So there you go, guys. Go check them out. At the end of the month, precisely next Monday, we're going to do the gift card giveaway valued at $50. Open to anybody out there in the world. You just got to show up to the show, participate, have fun with us, and by the end, we'll pick out a winner. That's all courtesy of InStockTrades.com.
Man, that didn't sound good at all.
Yeah, I dug it. There you go. Confirmed Jess loves it. Hell yeah, let's go. I appreciate that. That's a man of taste right there.
I think Jess didn't. Okay. So did he actually ever read Nightfall? And
I think he tried, but he didn't finish the story.
The first part, the actual Nightfall part, is the good part.
Yeah,
and it's after that it gets pretty doo-doo caca. And so I think I remember like talking to him about it, and he was like, Nightfall sucks. And I'm like, the first part is the good one. Like, he goes through the gauntlet, he fights Bane, he loses. I mean, spoiler alert for a 30-year-old story, but he loses, and then that's after that you get John Paul Valley in there, and that's where it went downhill. It was funny. I saw someone on our Facebook group describe when they put Jean Paul Valley as Batman as like DC giving the people what they thought they wanted, and then they realized it's not what they wanted at all. It's like edgy Batman.
It was. Would you say it was Batman's Clone Saga?
I mean, it was time.
It went on for a little bit too long too.
Yeah. It kind of
convoluted.
It's a little convoluted. It has a replacement character come in. It went on for a little bit too long. I would say it's not far off from saying that about it.
Okay.
And then like around the same time, you had Superman do the Death and Return, and you had like four Supermen out there.
Yeah. Then Green Lantern with the whole murdering phase.
Hal Jordan decimating Post City or whatever.
So yeah, it was one hit after the other. So I can see why a lot of people in that era that were not accustomed to that would be like, what is happening to DC Comics? And would not care for it.
It's kind of like the Marvel Now era of the Avengers, where not Marvel Now, but all new Marvel Now. I think the post Secret Wars is what I'm talking about, where all of the Avengers were different characters, and people were like, "What the hell?" Because it was like Jane Foster Thor. I think what's his name? Sam was Cap.
Yep.
Hulk was
Amadeus Cho.
Like every one of the main Avengers was a different character for a period of time. And it's kind of the same, like Batman is Jean-Paul Valley, Superman is 4 different guys, Hal Jordan is a murderer.
H Field, thank you for joining. Appreciate that. So, DC Comics aside, Jess should talk more about Nightfall, and we're going to talk about some news. But before that, I always say this at the top of every manga stream. Did you haul anything and you want to show the peeps?
I don't remember which books came in with my last haul, aside from this sexy little number, Nana and Karu number 3.
Nice. Which is pretty wild considering what you're reading that you told me about earlier. That there's a theme for tonight's reading.
Well, I'm not reading that one yet right now. I'm trying to take all the volumes off the shelf first. What else was in my last package? I don't even remember. Shaman King Flowers, Volume 4.
Ooh.
This goes along with that theme. We Can't Just Do Plain Love, Volume 2. I think Kimono Jihen was with that last package.
Nice.
And these, I've read all of these books. I think Invisible Man and his soon-to-be wife was in that recent package. This one's a cute, fun series. I don't remember if Shonen Note Boy Soprano was, but I read that one the other day anyway. It was like, I got like 10 or 11 books. And I'm just trying to remember exactly which 10 or 11 were in that package. But I read a lot more in the past several days because I'm working my way through. The Horizon Volume 2.
Ooh.
Fantastic, but depressing, as you know.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Had these. I think Yakuza's Bias 2 is a new arrival. I read Tokyo Revengers as well the other day. I don't remember if this was a newer one or not that I just got. I know it's the newest one. I just don't know if it's a new one.
What arc are you on for Tokyo Revengers?
It's starting the one. God, I forget what it's called. But
did you finish the Christmas Showdown?
Yeah. What's his name? Kisaki comes back. And he's got the red on.
Okay.
This ends with that one, and I was that motherfucker.
Yeah,
that dude is an asshole.
The anime's starting up soon too.
He looks like Will Poulter from Bandersnatch.
Yeah.
You find the picture of him in Bandersnatch. He's got like the spiked blonde hair. He wears red. That looks exactly. Got the glasses and then the eyebrows, the iconic Will Poulter eyebrows.
It's so odd. I when I was reading the manga, I thought, did the creator get inspired by the actor, or
it came out around the same time as Bandersnatch did? Yeah. So it's not impossible that he saw that and was like,
might have seen him. I'm like, that's a cool character design for my character.
I think these 3 were also from that order. Yeruko-chan Volume 8.
Nice.
No Longer Heroine Volume 4. This one's funny. Got a lot of facial expression humor. And then Handyman Saito in Another World Volume 2.
Heck yeah. Did you read that one?
Yeah.
The Handyman.
Read. Nice. And I can say that aside from Nana and Karu, on my to read pile now, I've got this is the next one I'm reading because I finished the Ladies on Top that I was reading earlier. Yakuza Fiance 4 and hold on, let me grab the rest of this stack. Valiant Must Die 2 or Fall 2. Soloist in a Cage 2, Sawara, The Monster House, and
I have that somewhere.
Volume 1, Marmalade Boy, Volume 3.
I forgot I need to get that.
Last Game 2, and Don't Call It Mystery, Volume 2, which is Volume 4. So that's the current to read pile. It's dwindling, and I've got other stuff that I need to read after the new release pile.
Yeah.
But this is what I try to keep up with first.
And then move your way backwards.
Yeah, all of my new releases, I need to make sure I'm keeping up with those, and then that way, like, you know, I don't want to be like, oh, I'm 3 volumes behind on this series.
Hey.
And what if I don't like it? Like, what if I had
Yeah.
2 or 3 volumes of a series and I haven't read it and I wind up not liking it, or like I stop liking it after the first couple volumes or something. So that's what I don't want. And I have one that I can talk about, kind of a first impressions, is Windbreaker Volume 1 from Kodansha, a new series that came out from Kodansha. It's a very simple premise. Just a town where there's a lot of delinquents, but the delinquents kind of protect the turf. They're the protectors of this town. And a new guy comes in and he wants to be the strongest of them all. And so he starts up at a school where there's a bunch of delinquents. And yeah, so he wants to be he doesn't, the main character, what's his name? Haruka Sakura is his name. Haruka has no interest in being part of like the other delinquents group and doesn't really care about protecting the town at all. He just wants to be the strongest. And so he's kind of butting heads with everyone else. But if you have a flavor for delinquent manga and just, you know, brawler manga, like stuff where it's just fighting, this is going to itch that urge to read something like that. And I posted on Twitter /X Twitter, whatever you want to call it, a brief, just, this was really fun. The only real complaint I have is that there's no freaking pompadours. Like, these outfits would be perfect with pompadours.
Yeah, I can see that.
Really cool looking. There's this one character that I love the style of him. He's got kind of he's got this eye patch. He looks like he would be in Tokyo Revengers, if I'm being quite honest. Here's a small picture of homie. Oh, he's on the big picture is up here, but you can see like,
oh, there we go. Yeah,
big earrings. The kind of, I don't know what they call like the Chinese style shirt with the buttons that do that. Eye patch, the hair parted down the middle. Very cool looking character. I don't know much about him, but he's my favorite just based off of the appearance.
Question: Why is the series called Windbreaker?
That's their names, if I'm not mistaken. The group is the Windbreakers.
I thought it was a windy city and like coming in and breaking up the wind. I don't know.
I thought it was called Fujin. It's Furin. Well, I think Fu is wind. If I'm not mistaken, because I know Fujin is like the god of wind, and they go to Furin High School. I don't speak Japanese or know that much, but I'm pretty sure that Fu is something to do with wind. So they call themselves the Windbreakers. It has nothing to do with their outerwear.
Okay.
But that's my quick review. If you like Delinquents, that's for you.
Go pick it up. Yeah,
absolutely. Go pick it up, folks.
I didn't show this on. Well, I guess I can mix the chat with what I'm going to talk about. H. Field read the first volume of the DRCL. And I really enjoyed it. There was a lot of gender and sexuality themes, or the beginning of those themes that I was not expecting. So I'm super intrigued, and the art was amazing, but no surprise there. I showed off the book on Monday. Where is it? So I got these two books. I got Blood of the Moon Princess, and I got DRCL. For once in my life, I actually have this as soon as everybody else got it, or a couple days before. So I was really happy about that. I didn't say anything about it, so it doesn't matter. But for me, it was a personal victory. Like, heck yeah. Like, media males taking like and just a week to arrive. Yes, please, more of that. So yeah, I did show this off on Monday for the comic book crowd, and everybody liked it. I was joking because I wanted to find one of the sexy scenes, and I could not find it. And then I remembered that there was one particular panel that's on volume 2. So I'm gonna wait next year. Or is it next year? Like January when volume 2 comes out, or February?
Did they already solicit that? I don't remember.
I think so.
Let
I
me.
think I saw the. But yeah, here's some of the covers, or not the covers, some of the pages for you guys if you have not seen it.
Currently,
If you like, yeah.
March.
For March.
Yeah. So a little bit of.
Wait.
Yeah, I think because the series is on, it might be on hiatus in Japan.
Probably.
So they're just
Also,
like pretty long delays between volumes. But hey, at the very least, we do have Innocent coming out, I think November from Dark Horse.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
If you read this and enjoy the artwork here, which is stunning, you can pick up Innocent from Dark Horse and get more Shinichi Sakamoto goodness.
And if you read this book, after you're done, you can go ahead and watch The Last Voyage of the Demeter, which is essentially the opening chapter here for this book, and be like, hey, it's like that manga I read. Of course, it's all based on one particular novel, but you catch my drift.
Did I show? I'm just seeing your Pokemon in the back, and I don't remember if I showed you that I got this guy.
No, I saw you showed me Kirby, and did I see Bulbasaur? I don't know. Somebody, I know you showed off one sleeping Pokemon, but I can't remember which one. I thought it was. But that's really cool.
Well, I have now
The full set, the starters, I should say. Nice.
And the main sleeper.
He led everybody to sleep.
Yes. And there's in this line that I know of, at the very least, there's also a Snorlax and there's a Pikachu. And I haven't gotten either of those because I have 2 other Pikachu plush, and I have I want to get a Snorlax, but I want a really, really big one.
Yeah. Get the huge beanie one that's like $400.
That's the goal, man. Like,
heck yeah. They released the life-size Slowpoke one. I am super jealous, and I wish I could get that.
How much is that?
Like 600, I think, or 500. It's a lot of cash, which I don't have.
Pokemon shit's expensive, bro. Like that set that you showed earlier, that was
the GameStop the starter set or whatever for 2023.
$400.
$400. No. So I wanted to show this off last week, but I couldn't. I got wait, I can't point. There we go. I got Squishmallow Snorlax and Squishmallow Togepi. So I'm missing Gengar. I have the original Pikachu, not the one where he's winking. I don't think I'm going to get Piplup, and they just announced Clefairy and the teddy bear. What's his name? Teddy Ursa.
Huh.
Teddy Ursa? Yeah, which was really weird. I thought they were going to go somewhere else and not pick such a newer, quote-unquote, Pokemon.
Dude, the giant Slowpoke plush is sold out.
You know which one I want to get? Google Sleeping Slowpoke plush, because that was released recently for the Pokemon Sleep app. That's the one I want, but it hasn't been picked up for North American distribution or release or whatever.
The one that's on its back?
Yeah, where he's sleeping face up.
I
need that.
Walmart, is it the same? Is this legit? Walmart has some tricky shit sometimes.
Oh yeah, they got some bootleg stuff.
These are smaller ones than what, because these other ones, you know what's cool though is, so when I went, I bought them all at Target, and basically every time I go to Target for something specific,
they got something that pulls your eye.
And I do it to myself. You know, it's my fault. Like I go in and I'm like, I need to buy you know, a pair of shorts and a apple juice or so, I don't know, whatever.
Bulbasaur.
And I go and I go around. So I go to like around the route where I go through like men's clothes and I see all the shirts and apparel. And then I go around the toys and like the Legos and whatever. And there's the section that has like the plushes. It's like a kids section. And so it's something that's not even with the toys. And I didn't know it was there even. And so every time I look and like, if they have one of the Mons that I don't have, and I grab it. So I found this one in there, and I didn't even know they made this guy, which it makes sense that they would because they have the other two starters. But like I looked online before in what's in this line.
Yeah, and that he was already out. You had no idea.
Yeah, they didn't have him any, like I only saw the ones that I have, or Snorlax and Pikachu, nothing else. And so when I saw this, I was like, oh my God, I have to get it. So I grabbed it. His tag had fallen off, and I didn't know that. And so I took him up there to the register, and the lady was checking it out, and she just asks me, you know, do you know how much this is? And I was like, I think they go for 30. I'm pretty sure each of them is 30. And I would know because I've bought all of these other ones. They're $30. Yeah. And she's like, okay. And she rings me up, and then at the end of the transaction, she was like, I just put that one in there for $21.99. And I was like, oh shit, dope.
Nice.
I'm assuming that there was like in their system, it was something plush something that was in there for $21.99. And so she just chose that instead of trying to find whatever. But yeah, I was like, that's awesome. So, and look how like his bulb kind of goes deep.
that could be clipped by our mod James. So thank you for providing. There we go.
He's like he's got an innie. It's like my belly. He's got an itty.
Oh, Bulba.
The check so any Bulba butt lint in there.
So yeah, the plan is I do want to get that Slowpoke that's sleeping face up to place him right there where I'm circling on the bed right there. And Totodile is still there, by the way. He does not fit with the rest of the chunky dudes. But I thought it was funny that he's being squished right where my finger is. Right there.
I have my Fuecoco in here also.
Yeah.
Smaller than the others, but he's just kind of shoved in. He gets in. And an Ultra Ball.
Oh, you got a ball too. Nice. Why did The Last Voyage of Demeter release in the summer? Seems like a good movie for Halloween. I know, right? They didn't believe in it, so they just threw it at the end of summer. Bob Fisher, happy to see you tonight. I'm waiting for my first manga in kanji to arrive in 2 weeks. Rikudo. Nice. That's cool. Let's see. Did I haul anything? Oh, okay. So yeah, I got these two books, and I did not plan for this. Sorry. What the hell did I grab here? I got Yakuza Reincarnation, Volume 7.
Nice.
I got Kimono Jihen, Volume 7, which is past the... Whoa, I'm blurred. Okay, past the first season of the anime, if you guys want to read it after watching the show. And for a whopping, like, $30, I got Call of the Night on Blu-ray.
Nice.
So this is like I think retail close to $60 or something.
Shit.
Right Stuff had it for like 50 something, and the Bezos website had it on discount for like 30 something. Like, okay, sure. And they're releasing a limited edition, but FOMO got the best of me, and I ended up picking up this because I didn't want to miss out because it started selling out pretty quick. So I grabbed it. And I'm pretty sure once they release the limited edition, I'm going to be tempted. We'll see. Probably will be super expensive, but yeah. There you go. That's my mini haul. William Lee, do you guys play Pokemon Go? I do. I have played religiously since it came out. I have not stopped. So send me a message if you want to be pals, be compadres on the Pokemon Go's. I'd appreciate it. Actually, I do need to finish an objective field research thing where you need a new friend. So thank you. That is perfect. William, let's be friends on Pokemon Go. Send me a message somewhere on social media. You can find me.
I don't play it. I haven't played it since like before the second generation dropped.
Yeah.
So I wanted to answer since you asked to make sure that I wasn't ignoring the question.
Friend code. Oh, okay. Dang it. How do I? Hold on. I'm derailing the show, guys. Give me a minute. I'm gonna write it here on my computer and add you. You know.
Pokemon Go touch some grass.
Hey, got him. 3942. Sure, I think that works. Anyways, okay, back to the show. I love Pokemon. I have an alternate channel called Geekdom Gaming. I was seriously considering deleting that channel and starting over and just make it a Pokemon centric channel and be a Pokemon YouTuber thing. But I like all sorts of gaming, so I don't know yet. I don't know what I want to do, but I'm thinking about it. Anyways, that's a topic for another YouTube thing, not now. Let's talk about the new licenses first from Seven Seas. They're back with the wonderful Wednesday Adventures or whatever they're calling it, and they announced a light novel, 2 manga releases, and a manhwa. So we're going to pull that up here. The first one we're going to talk about is the manhwa, Reborn Rich by JP and Kim Byung-on. Hope I said that right. Probably not. For 13 years, I'm not going to say these names. Sorry. This guy was a loyal employee of the Sunyang Group, the largest corporation in South Korea. He worked his way up from the bottom of the corporate ladder, only to be betrayed by the very company he dedicated the years of his life to. With nothing to show for all his work, he resigns himself to death, only to be reborn in the past as Dojun Jin, the grandson of the founder and CEO of Sunyang. As the youngest grandson, he stands no chance of inheriting the company, but he refuses to accept his fate. He'll get revenge against the rich and powerful family who are now his relatives by rising to the top and becoming the head of the family himself. So essentially, he's trapping the family in a time loop, right? Because if he's back as their family member, then what happens to his original self in the timeline when they reach his birth year? He's going to be born. It's like Terminator, where he sends himself back. I don't know. I'm thinking way too hard about this, but Reborn Rich is coming out. What do you think?
Someone say Terminator.
Heck yeah. Nice.
Might check it out. Maybe.
So it's a webtoon. Technically, we can check it out now because it's up on the webtoon thing. But yeah, probably not going to do that anytime soon. But it's cool. It's coming out in physical. The other one that got announced is Only the Stars Know, from the creator of The Two Lions. Comes this self-contained boys' love romance manga about a college student and an older man making an unexpected connection through stargazing. That's pretty sweet. By Nagisa Furuya. This is the prequel to the Reborn Rich and Terminator. The other one that got announced. I don't have the light novel, but there's a light novel in there somewhere. Sorry, I don't have it here with me. In this salacious Yuri Girls Love manga series by the creator of Transparent Light Blue, One young woman becomes trapped in a cycle of blackmail and infidelity. This is My Girlfriend's Not Here Today by Kyoko Iwami, or Iwami, however you say it. Asahina Yuni is lonely. She has a girlfriend, but it feels like they're barely dating. Pent up, Asahina vents her secret frustrations on an anonymous social media account. Bad move. One day after class, Asahina gets swept up in a conversation with the striking, outgoing Taki, not related to the tree. Anyway, Taki peppers her with personal questions until she reveals that she's been following Asahina's supposedly secret social media. Taki insists that she only wants to talk, and the more time they spend together, the more Asahina can feel herself opening up until Taki shows her true colors, threatening to blackmail Asahina to get more time alone with her. What will Asahina do once she's caught in an erotic web of secrets and lies? There you go. Any of these interest you? My Girlfriend's Not Here Today. Only the Stars Know. Reborn Rich. Nope.
The second, since it's only a single volume, if someone like recommends it, I might check it out. That's generally how it goes with those. Like when it's a single volume release, I'll check it out if someone says it's good. The first one, I might peep the first volume to see how it is. The Yuri one, like we got an infidelity series. But it's funny because it reminds me last night on the show we did, I forget who it was and what the comment was about, but they said something and they meant to type indefinitely, but it autocorrected to infidelity. I read like, I'm pretty sure you. I read the comment. I'm like, I'm pretty sure you meant indefinitely, but that has a very different meaning.
Yeah, nice. Oh, I love goofs like that.
I like the artwork on this one though, so I might
love this cover.
I might have to peep it and see what that's about, but I don't know. I haven't heard anything about it personally.
I'm just noticing, and all of you are gonna roll your eyes. I did not know the ring thing for the phone holder. I did not know that you're supposed to do that to hold your phone. I've seen them before in real life and always wondered why the ring thing. And now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, so you put your finger through it so you can hold the damn phone.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm so smart.
That's the pop sockets too. It's the same, like you pop it out and you put your fingers around the sides of it.
There you go.
Helps you to hold it.
I've never had a pop socket in my life, but I'm interested now.
I used to use one, and for a while on my previous phone, I had not a ring or pop socket, but a little like elastic that you put your fingers, and so it wouldn't fall. And it makes it easier to like, I mean, one, you don't accidentally drop your phone, but two, if I'm like recording or taking pictures, it's easier to do so without just fumbling the phone. And sometimes I like to take pictures with my phone upside down, because then the camera is down here and it gives you a different angle, and that helps with that as well.
Cool. DRCL excited to jump in. Love Dracula, the novel. Insomniacs After School #3. I did pick that up.
That's good too. That was a good volume.
Yeah.
I
love the show.
There was one volume, like a middle of the series volume, that I finished reading it and I was like, man, that was a good volume. And I can't remember off the top of my head which one it was. But usually if it's a first volume, I'm like, man, that was a good debut. But there was one, it was in the middle of the series, and I was like, shit, that was a good volume.
Speaking of, did you know that... wait a minute. I have to Google it. I can't remember off the top of my head. The Witch in the Night is ending.
Yeah, it was only 3 volumes long.
Yeah, I was bummed out about that. Speaking of, there's a lot of stuff that's ending.
Is that next? Look at the Manga Apocalypse again?
Yeah. Sure, let's... Okay, this is impromptu.
Manga
I can show you that. let's go to Anime News Network, friends of the show.
That are being terminated.
That's amazing. So if I click on manga, okay. So check this out, guys. We're going to talk about this next. And we're going to talk about this next. Don't worry. We already talked about that. Cool. Drops of God sequel is 2 more volumes and it's out. The Soul Spewing Wielder, which I've been wanting to talk about on these streams, but I keep forgetting. This started this year and it's already ending at the end of the month. So that's going away. That's like a, what does it say here? Occult battle comedy manga. Otoko Zaka ends in 5 chapters. Where was the other one? Nope.
It's the Drums of Liberation.
I Married My Female Friend ends in October. The Essence of Being Amused. They're launching a new manga. Sorry. There was something else. This one, which is coming out, I believe, early next year. Sakura Saku is reaching its climax. This surprised me. Do Retry, which was a Shonen Jump title, ended. And it's getting, I think it was 2 volumes, 2 physical volumes. Yes. And the other one that I talked about, which was the ghost writer that possesses the kid, and they're making a movie. I totally forgot the name of it. That also ended. I talked about it on here as well. So a bunch of Shonen Jump titles already getting axed.
Is that the Tenmaku Cinema?
Yes, that one. From the creator of Food Wars. So I thought that was I remember saying, I think because of the creator, it might last longer than anticipated, but apparently not.
How long did it go?
I think it was... I don't think it reached 50 chapters. Hold on. Let me double check.
I'm still sore from Phantom Seer and Hard-Boiled Cop and Dolphin.
And it never got a physical too. So that's upsetting.
The arms of an angel.
Tenmaku Cinema lasted for 21 chapters.
Okay.
So
it didn't get to 50, and I was like, well, if it got like 40 something, that's not bad.
Yeah.
21 chapters.
21, that would be 3 volumes in Japan. So I hope if it does get picked up someday, maybe they'll do like a 3-in-1 and save yourself the ink and paper. What else got canceled? There was something else that was pretty famous. Fiance Sama. Cool. Yeah, that's ending. My one-hit kill sister and Blood on the Tracks finally ended after 6 years. I read it and I thought it was a good ending to the series. Nice. But I will still stick by the fact that it went on for way too long and should have wrapped up years ago. It just kept going and going and going. But at least the finale, I found stuff to like there. And I think a lot of people, if you take in consideration the journey that the character has gone through, I think the ending is the best thing possible out there for this book. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. I'm not going to spoil it. That's up to you to find out. But I thought it was a good way to end the series, the story. So yeah, that's my mini review for Blood on the Tracks. Am I missing anything else? Oh yeah, Sugumi Project. That's the one I wanted to mention. That's ending too. So that'll be like 6 books collected, 6 or 7 volumes, I think. So there you go. Speaking of stuff that's coming out, Azuki is putting out new books in this month, September. We're getting Drifting Net Cafe, The 10th Prism, Diary of My Daily Failures, and A Tunnel to Spring Rain. I'll be honest, I don't care about 3 of these titles. What I do care about is Drifting Net Cafe, which is a pretty famous Shuzo Oshimi book that has not been released physically. And it's super popular because, yeah, it went on for a bit, and it even has live action adaptations in Japan. So that is really cool.
It's also it is a kind of like parody of Drifting Classroom by Kazuo Umez, except instead of a classroom, it's a net cafe.
Exactly.
It's his, like, I think it's his first longer title. It was 7 volumes long. Because around the time that this came out, most of his works were like 1 or 2 volumes. So yeah. So we'll see. I'm wanting to assume, I want to make the assumption that we're gonna see this one licensed soon physically. And maybe this was just digitally released ahead of that. But either way, I do know that
Oh no, wait a minute.
if it's
Sorry.
not being picked up by another publisher for physical release, I do know that Azuki is interested in trying to get into physical stuff, and they might pursue that in either, if they can't do it on their own, they might pursue it in the same way that like Mangamo teamed up with the Penguin Random House's Inklore to get stuff out, like My Love Story with Yamada-kun. So I would be very surprised if this doesn't get a physical release announced in the nearish future.
I'm scared to continue the pages because it's Oshimi.
Yeah, you never know.
Let me check.
You never know.
No, can I show this? Hold on. Nope.
I can kind of see down below what you're looking at, and I saw something.
Yeah, I mean it's safe, but I don't know. Okay, skip the ads. Upgrade to premium. No, thank you. So yeah, that's the new stuff. Let me pull this back up.
Give you money.
10th Prism looks interesting, I guess, and same with the others. But I saw this and was excited for the idea of it finally being picked up. So if you guys don't know, yeah, go ahead.
It's the only longer Oshimi series we don't have.
Exactly, because we do have all the one-shots now, almost all of them, and the other famous books like Happiness, Flowers of Evil, Drifting, not Drifting, Blood on the Tracks, and Welcome Back Alice, which is coming out physically. This
So
one,
we need his first work, Superfly, which is a one-shot. And in
Japan,
Japan,
a really horny one-shot, by the way.
It was published alongside Avant-Garde Yumeko-chan in Japan, but they didn't keep it for the English. I think that was probably a licensing issue is why they did that. Midnight Paranoia Star, which I think is a single volume release, like one whole volume.
Yeah, I think so.
It's either a single volume or it's a one shot. I don't remember which. We have Avant-Garde Yumeko, we have Sweet Poolside, we have Double Ecstasy. Yutai Nova is 2 volumes. We don't have that one. And then Drifting Net Cafe, 7 volumes. We don't have that one. We have Flowers of Evil. We have Shino Can't Say Your Name. We have Inside Mari, Happiness, Waltz, Femme Fatale, The Art of Shuzo Oshimi, Blood on the Tracks, Miss Kusakabe, and Welcome Back Alice. And we do not have Lily, which was a single volume released in 2021.
So I forgot about Lily. Yeah.
We're down to a very small number of Oshimi titles not available yet in English before we have everything, and that's really cool. I'm counting on probably at least one thing being announced by someone at Anime NYC in November. So fingers crossed, either from it's most likely either from Denpa or Kodansha. So fingers crossed that happens.
I'm kind of kicking myself for not getting the one shots that was it Denpa that they were selling.
Yeah,
because now I want because Oshimi's library is small and that's something I can actually collect, and I have some of his series, so I wanted to grab those two, and now I'm kicking myself for not getting them because I saw them posted on, I think it was eBay for a lot of money. I was surprised.
Maybe they'll release like his other one shot that we don't have,
like a little compilation book.
Yeah, they eventually do a compilation of all of them.
Yeah,
because they're only like 50 pages each.
Mm-hmm. I think that's why I didn't get it at the time. I'm like, I don't know. It's just a one shot. But yeah. For this, if anybody's curious out there, if you don't know about Drifting Net Cafe, Koichi Toki enters a net cafe on a whim and is reunited with his first true love. They are elated to meet again, but then the city around their net cafe disappears. The fated couple share the cafe with nerds, thugs, a brash young kid, girls, and businessmen. And as the interactions between these unconnected people unfold, it results in a sudden interdimensional love story. So, yeah, this is pretty popular in Japan. It had a live action adaptation, which was also pretty popular. A lot of Oshimi books have gotten live action stuff because I remember the one with the body hair. What was it? Poolside, sweet.
Yeah,
Poolside. That has a movie made. Unfortunately for all of us.
Midnight Paranoia Star was only one chapter, so that's another one shot. So nice. maybe they could do that, and I think Lily as well is another one shot. So out of the stuff that hasn't been released, that's one. Lily is one. Midnight Paranoia Stars 2. Superfly is three one shots. So they wanted to keep doing the same thing. They could do those like that, and then aside from those, it's just 2-volume Yutai Nova and 7-volume Drifting Net Cafe.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So
there
close.
You go.
We're so close.
New stuff from Azuki. If you are a digital reader, there you go. You can read it. Next up, this is something really cool to me. We're going to go over to new friends of the show, Comics Beat, for this article right here, written by none other than Willie T. Dustis himself, Mr. Riley Moore.
That's me. That's me, guys.
Yeah.
What
do you got to say about this?
As of yesterday, I am now a contributing writer at the Comics Beat. It is just a fun little thing to do. It's not a paid gig or anything, so don't think that I'm getting the bukus.
Experience and for your portfolio and stuff. So that counts.
Speaking just flatly and frankly, there's two paths of what this can go into. Is either right now the Comics Beat is seeking out like sponsors for their business so that they can start making money and then they can start paying their writers. But as of now, it's just freelance, like you do it if you want to or you don't.
For the passion of it. Yeah.
So either that happens and I start like I and every other writer starts getting paid for their articles, or B, like Gio said, I start building the portfolio and then I can start writing at other sites and stuff. And there are some that I've already like reached out to and been like, hey, let me write for you. And they've been like, yeah, we just need to see your portfolio. And I'm like, the only site that I wrote for that was not my own website is no longer around. So I don't have a portfolio, so to say. So yeah, this is, I have 2 articles right now that are up at the Comics Beat. They basically just say, hey, can you check this out and do a write-up? I'm like, yeah. And so this is the second one. The first one, if you were watching last night, I was talking with Jess and Gabe about
the Funko Pops.
Yeah, Funko Pops Pop Yourself, which is like customizable pops. And this is the second one. Scholastic, in their graphics imprint, is publishing Unico Awakening, which of course is a Unico, like the Osamu Tezuka, for a new generation. The original Unico series is a shoujo manga about a young unicorn, and a goddess is jealous of the unicorn's ability to basically like impact human emotions positively, and so she banishes him and sends him away through time and space, and he meets with another god who starts like sending him around, and he just finds and helps people along the way as he tries to get back home. And this is a new interpretation coming from Scholastic. It's written by Samuel Satin, who's done a few different books about manga and stuff, and a few different things, I think, for Scholastic. And then Gurihiru is the artist who's done a lot in comics, like Superman Smashes the Klan. I think he was involved with like the Gwenpool series, at least the covers. A lot of stuff at Marvel, but Japanese artist that does a lot in Western comics. And they did a Kickstarter a while ago. The Kickstarter was super successful. It was funded within 24 hours. And since then, it got picked up and licensed by Scholastic. And it has a 6-book deal for 4 volumes of the series, Unico Awakening, a handbook, and an activity book, all coming out in the, not too distant future. I think summer 2024 is the first volume of this new Unico. The original Unico by Tezuka was put out back in like 2012 by Digital Manga Publishing, and it has been out of print for a while. Who knows if they might pick it up again and print it out again? It'd be nice, because that's one of the things that I've been missing. And they did it through their own Kickstarter campaign. It's available digitally, as I mentioned on the article. But yeah, it looks fun. Unico. There's also two movies or whatever, 2 OVAs that they put out for Unico that are available on Blu-ray and DVD over at Right Stuff, not a sponsor. But if you'd like to check it out that way, check out Unico. The story is available through anime.
What if I buy the PDF and then I print it out and make my own copy of it?
I mean, hey,
that's the Geo edition of the Omnibus, if you will.
Unico.
Unico. Yeah, this art is great, but that's not important. We're going to talk about this one. This art,
and it was full color. The original, I believe, the entire thing was color. And in the just fun fact about the original series from DMP, they had it read left to right, because even though it was originally published right to left, Tezuka said that he created it with the intent for it to be read left to right, like an American comic.
Yeah, he was a fan of North American stuff, so
yeah.
Figures.
So they flipped it, but it wasn't really flipped per se.
I got a fun trivia for you. I don't know if you know this, but Gurihiru, friends of the show, it's actually two people. It's a team.
It's Guri and Hiru.
It's Chifuyu Sasaki and Naoko Kawano. The team up when they get together and do the fusion dance, they're called Gurihiru. So my favorite work of Gurihiru is Gwenpool. So I am a huge fan. So I highly recommend people to check this out, since we can't get the original physically. Also, got this badass cat. He's a witch. That's so cool to me.
Looks like some Kiki's Delivery Service type shit going on.
Heck yeah. So that is really cool. I am so happy to see your name on here. That's awesome. So everybody go check it out.
And another part that might be important for people to know, I mentioned it, I believe, in the article, but because it did get funded by Kickstarter. And so for those who did fund the Kickstarter, it is going to differ a little bit. The volume that they get is I still need to upload my like profile and photo and stuff like that. But the stuff that they get is going to be different and like exclusive and compared to the one that's released to the public. So anyone who backed the Kickstarter is getting like extra material, like bonus stuff in the book, art from the thing, from the Kickstarter. So yeah, anyone who supported it, you're not getting left out. Basically, like you're being rewarded still for your efforts.
This ended a while ago, right? We can't participate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think so.
Cool. There you go.
Looks great.
Unico.
Check out always. I've been enjoying this like swath of manga inspired work from America, and especially when you have like Japanese creators involved with it, like Fusion Dance Team Kurihiru. It makes for some cool stuff.
Oh, look at that. That's awesome.
Viz's original line, the Saturday AM line, a lot of cool works coming out that are very inspired by manga.
There you go. Anything? No. Yeah. So there you go. Let's close this for a second. I missed some comments here before we get to the new manga. Anybody reading, enjoying Wild Strawberry? I started reading it and have not continued, but it is awesome. Really enjoyed the first 2 chapters. You should save your articles in a doc or something.
Yeah, that's something that the site that I worked at before, it was literally like 10 years ago, or actually it was longer. And I never thought about saving my work. But now I'm like, yeah, I should probably save these somewhere.
Need a new volume of Die Dark. That's coming out soon. Don't worry. We got a new one coming out.
I don't think it's really on 7 Seas. It's more like they kind of caught up.
Yeah, it's a slow running thing from Hayashida. So, but we are getting volume 6. What, 2 months now? 2 months from now.
Coming in December. It came out April this year, and generally there's a bit of a delay between American and whatever, so they can have time to do the translation, editing, et cetera, get it printed and all that. They need a good lead time. But yeah, so 6 came out April this year, coming out in English December of this year, and that's the latest one from in Japan. So it's not on 7 Seas. It's on Q Hayashida, and trust me, like she takes a long time to do. Like Dorohedoro, 23 volumes, 18 years.
Yep.
Ended 2018.
Yep.
So you gotta, when it comes to Q, you have to be patient with her.
Patient. And there's also the box set coming out, which I know you're probably not going to pick up, Bob, because you've already cut up with Die Dark. Or not Bob, Sig. Sorry. First name I looked on the chat was Bob. Sorry, Bob. But yeah. Okay, so there's a bunch of new manga that were released recently on Manga Plus. So I bring you, without further ado, my first impressions on these books. So let's see, how can I do this? No, I can't do this through here. Hold on, because I'm not signed in. That's another thing with Manga Plus. You don't really have an account. You just log in, and it saves your thing that you click on save, and that's it. You make an account on your phone, but the desktop version, there's no account. That's just odd to me. So maybe they plan on restructuring the whole thing to be more user-friendly or normal with that stuff. Let me open it through my regular browser. There we go. Switch back. Okay. All right. So we're going to go to featured. Is it featured? Yeah. I'm going to talk about in random order. Let's do Kagurabachi. Let me read you the description so you guys are in the know. Young Chihiro, or Chihiro, however you pronounce it. I'm going to say Chihiro. Spends his days training under his famous swordsmith father. One day he hopes to become a great sword maker himself, the goofy father and the serious son. They thought these days would last forever. But suddenly, tragedy strikes. A dark day soaked in blood. Chihiro and his blade now live only for revenge. Epic sword battle action. That's so cheesy. So this only has one chapter out, and I noticed that everybody online was really hyped up for this series. So I finally read it, actually today, and it's fun. It's action packed. It's not going to win any awards for its sophisticated plot or anything, but if you're in the mood for some action and some epic katana wielding badassery, I think you're in luck because Kagurabachi delivers on that front. I tweeted out, this is like John Wick with Demon Slayer action, and they're fighting against sorcerers and Yakuza. So if all of that piques your interest, I think you're going to have a great time with Kagurabachi, and I could see this going on for a bit just because of its action-y nature. And dare I say, I also see a physical edition coming out for this as well. Easily. Let me show you some of the art.
Especially,
there's not a whole lot. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Viz acknowledged the memes and stuff today. They were like, "We've seen what you've been posting about Kagurabachi," but it's people are the memes. If you haven't seen it, is basically people acting like it's the same way they did with Morbius when the movie came out, and they're like, "It's Morbin time." So now people are like, "It's Kagurabachin time."
Oh boy,
it's gonna make Kagurabachilians and stuff like that.
So this is
already cosplaying as Chihiro also.
Oh no. This is by Takeru Hokazono. I hope I said that right. This creator has done a previous manga called Chain and Roku no Meiyaku, which I have not read, these two series. But for this one, it looks pretty cool. Let me show you some of the art. Not spoilers. Content warning here for a lot of blood. Like a lot.
Oh yeah.
And in color. Look at that.
It's gonna be one of those that people are like, that's not a shonen.
No. This is so sophisticated, dude. This is like a seinen title. You can't even begin to understand the complexities behind blah 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 blah. I can see that already.
That's a seinen.
So here's some of the art. Here's the main character with his dad in the past. Something happens, we don't see it, and the dad is killed. He was a famous sword maker. He made swords that stopped a war and all that tropey stuff. And the thing on this manga, on this world, is that the swords are embedded with magical abilities and controlling, like, I guess, elemental powers, because he does some moves later on with water stuff and wind. So that's why I compared it to Demon Slayer with the their attack names, which I totally forgot, the breathing techniques or whatever. So yeah, all that blah 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 that happens. Sure, they're talking, wonderful. There's some really nice scenes here, father-son moments here, where they're talking about his job as a sword maker and the fact that these swords are meant to kill people, but you know, he's telling his son, like, you have to be aware of that if you're going to follow in my footsteps. And he doesn't have an answer at first, but he's committed to it, like he's saying it here. So we flash forward a little bit. And some Yakuza action and some magical stuff. I'm sure this is going to be a main bad guy, or like a lieutenant for a captain that's super powerful. I don't know. It's shonen. You know what I mean? You got the. I was surprised because he looks super young here, but if you look at the promo, he looks really old. So I thought, oh, it's going to be like a grizzled old veteran assassin. But no, he's pretty young. He's in his 20s.
I start the morning every day with fresh hatred.
Oh, yeah.
That's the line. That's the Kagurabachi line right there.
Every morning when I wash my face and look in the mirror, I see this scar, and I remember that day. So every day I start the morning fresh with fresh hatred.
And a cup of coffee.
Heck yeah, dude. Scrolling here to some of the action. Yeah, so it gets super violent here. I don't know if I like that YouTube is okay with me showing this, but heaven forbid I show a butt or a boob or a dong, we're in trouble, and we need to be censored, deplatformed, taken off this stratosphere. But cutting somebody's head off, sure, it's all right. It's cool. It's a cartoon thing. Don't worry about it. So yeah, if you're in the mood for like high octane action with edgy character dialogue and all that stuff, you'll be right at home with Kagurabachi, the latest sensation on the X-verse or the Twitterverse.
Kagurabachi. It's getting the rounds on TikTok too. They got TikTok memes about it. There's people that have faked like an anime release for it, and they made up jokes about who's voicing the characters. And so like a voice actor was getting tagged on Twitter, and they're like, man, his version of Chihiro is awesome.
I've seen a few pages of the manga. It's pretty meme worthy, not gonna lie. Yeah, but I did like the action, so I would recommend it for that. We'll see what happens with chapter 2. It keeps up the momentum. Let's see. Let's talk about Daddy and Buddy, which I keep confusing for Buddy Daddies. My mind is a haze right now. This is a very difficult manga for me to describe. I'm not gonna lie. I don't even know how to tackle this, but I think it's gonna pique your interest. And I say this for the chat, and I say this for you, Willie. This is a combination of things that are cool by themselves, and this has potential to be something cool all bundled up together. Tanaka, a father of 3 and a gymnastics school instructor, suddenly finds himself on the brink of unemployment. Amidst this turmoil, a familiar figure appears before him to save the day, and it's the popular children's show host, Gymnastics Buddy, Asato. What's more, he can exterminate the mysterious bugs that only Tanaka has been able to see since childhood. Hold your breath as Tanaka takes a daring vault into the unforeseen twist of fate. Somebody had a fun time writing this description. So this sounds like 3 different manga rolled up into one, but I read it and really liked it and want to see how it continues and grows, because I think it has a ton of potential. Basically, like it says in the description, he works at a gymnastics school. He wanted to be a pro gymnast athlete and represent Japan and the international scene or whatever, and that didn't happen. But he was content because he loved the sport so much. He was content to do something smaller scaled, like teaching young kids of the sport, and he was happy with that. And of course, it maintains his life and family and all that stuff, which you don't really see in these books. He's a 28-year-old, I think, and he has 3 kids already and a wife. So he's providing for all 4 of them. I think the wife is an elementary school teacher or something like that. So that's really fun. I like to see that. That's a nice change up from these types of books. And there's also the fact about the bugs. You see it at the start. Let me show you some of the art here. I mean, look, when I saw this opening scene right here, I'm like, okay, this is something wild. I want to pay attention to it. So bugs show up in this series. Let me see if I can find a bug here. These are his kids, wife, and you see these little buggers right here. The main protagonist is the only one that can see them, and these bugs surround themselves around children and bother them and take their negative energy, and it affects the kids in like bad ways. They might become like they will throw a tantrum or become depressed, I guess, or angry, volatile. All these different mood swings can be attributed to these negative monsters and how they're feeding off the kids' emotions. So our main protagonist is able to see them, and he squashes them because they're not that big, and usually that solves the kids' tantrum dilemma or whatever. But like I said, nobody can see him except him, and he finds out that the school that he's teaching in is closing because the owner doesn't have the funds to keep it going. So now he doesn't know how to say it to his family. That's what this scene is setting up. And instead, they decide to take a mini vacation. And you find out here, which is the third element, the show that I mentioned. Oh, here's him squashing one of those bugs. Cool, I guess. And they decide to watch this show. Where the heck is it? Here it is. The show, and this character, he does a kids show, Challenge Ranger, where he protects children, and it's like a Super Sentai show, clearly inspired by all of that. So they watch that. I love the drawings here for the kids. To me, this is pretty accurate to the mind of a toddler as he's switching from one thing and then being hyped up about a TV show. I think they captured that spirit pretty well. And long story short, on a day when they're in this park for a vacation, larger bugs start showing up, and the main protagonist sees the ranger, and the ranger's supposed to be invisible. So he's surprised by that. Some interactions happen, and the two link up and could potentially team up. And the character here could be a force for good and become like a Super Sentai soldier thing, protecting the kids of Japan against these weird bugs. I don't know. So yeah, this is pretty wild. Let me show you. Where's the scene? Yeah, you can see here some of the action squashing one of the bugs. So it sounds wacky, sounds a little bit weird and convoluted, but I think it has potential because it's pretty unique, combining all these elements. And there's a big cat thing that looked like a yokai, which I dug. Grumble bugs. That's the name of the thing. Aberrations born of children's discomfort.
That looks like when Cell was in his larval form.
Yeah. And you can see here, their growth is fueled by the discomfort they sow. They possess children, draining away their vitality, plunging them into a state of chaos and unease. And they fight. All that stuff. He's got a cool suit right there. Armored plated suit or whatever. So now I guess the character is going to have the second opportunity to do some good in the world, because he wanted to do it with the gymnastics, and for some reason being a gymnast is a requirement to get this job. So everything's lining up for the main character to become one of these rangers.
Everything's coming up, Daddy.
This is written by Tendai Yano. I don't have a profile on this creator. The only thing I know is that they wrote Heishi to Burikiya, which is a steampunk shonen series that's compared to Land of the Lustrous. But I, have not read that, so I don't know. The next one, where is it? Okay, let's talk about this insanity. Do you know about Diasporazers? Diasporazer, however you pronounce it.
Nope.
Okay, so this is
how I assume All Might will look when he gets really old.
If I remember correctly, Ondori Nukui, the creator, is an editor for Dandadan.
Mm.
And what I found hilarious, because I had never heard of this creator, was when I clicked on chapter 1, it literally says, where is it? From the creative genius, Ondori Nukui's first series. I'm like, damn, all right, first series, and he's already a creative genius? Okay. So, Diasporizer, well, however the hell you say this, is the series on an Earth rampant with malevolent aliens. A mysterious young boy and a stern old man cross paths in a curious twist of fate. In a universe where magic reigns supreme as the ultimate form of military might, their epic adventure begins. Basically, this is a world where Earth has made contact with alien species across the universe, and there's one particular alien species that conquers everything in sight, and they have like really intricate magical battle suits that they make them look like demons, and their energy source is magic, so they are cosmic sorcerers. And our main character here, which I forgot the name of, apologies, he is just a wholesome kid just wandering around a desert town. I don't know, it's supposed to be Japan, but it literally looks like the middle of the country here, North America. But let's see, he's just hanging around, vacationing somewhat, and he hears that these troublemaker kids are going to rob this guy, which is the old man, his mansion and his fortunes and all that stuff, because they've heard that he has a ton of cash or gold or whatever. So out of the goodness of his heart, he goes to warn the old man, and he finds out that this old guy is a nut job, and he is a former military person that got involved in many wars fighting against the aliens and protecting Earth. And he is on a paranoia that there's going to be an invasion, and he's going to kill every other bad guys and get everybody ready for this battle that's going to happen. And some back and forth, some witty banter between the two, and it's eventually revealed, so this is not a spoiler, don't worry, that the main character is one of the cosmic sorcerers, but he's not necessarily a bad guy. He is stranded on Earth, so he's under the he's telling everybody that he's just vacationing and seeing the sights while he finds work. So eventually some stuff happens, and these two characters are going to team up to fight against the evil cosmic sorcerers that threatened Earth. So I try to condense it because this is a really wacky, off-the-wall series. The art is very chaotic, and the plot as well. So I hope I did the thing justice here. Here's one of the aliens. You can see some of their armor.
Nice.
And they use electricity, and one of the conduits is like light bulbs and stuff, but it's more magic based. I didn't really get it. I just thought it was like MacGuffins. I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. So yeah, battle shonen stuff with some Dandadan craziness. Obviously, he's worked on the other book, so some of that influence is on here. You can see some of the art, which at sometimes here when I look at the panels, it kind of reminds me of like Adam Warren.
Yeah.
And like his stuff, you know?
Empowered
and stuff, yeah. Like look at the dude with the heavy shading and the really bold strokes here for the cheeks and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. It looked like very North American inspired.
That's why I said he looks like an old All Might, because All Might has those heavy strokes and stuff.
And look at this one right there. Yeah. Let me show you some of the cosmic stuff that happens. So this is when he finds out that he is one of the bad guys, but they talk it out. He's not necessarily a bad guy, and kind of a budding relationship forms. And the old guy thinks like, maybe I could teach him everything and he can be my successor and all that stuff as we fight the good fight and all that. Look at that. He's ripped. Tatsukuni, that's his name. There we go. I want to show you. There it is. That's when he finds out, because they all have these intricate tattoos on them.
Yeah.
He was fighting them. And you can see here. Scroll. There we go. So this is how you know that no, they're not edgy teens with a lot of tattoos of death metal bands. They are, in fact, alien creatures with inks and stuff. I don't know. So that activates the power thing. So I'm going to show you here the suits when they wear them. These are the bad guys, looking like African shaman warriors. And the main hero, the main protagonist, turns out to be really nasty. Where is it? Yeah, there we go. Here we go. Any day now. Oh, here we go. So that's the main protagonist when he's transformed into what we find out is a very infamous sorcerer across the galaxy. So, yeah, I do think I could see this going for a while, but then again, maybe it may be too crazy and it might get canceled. Who knows? So that's Diasporazer.
But it's from the creative genius.
From the creative genius of Ondori Nukui.
His first series.
His first series, and he's already a creative genius. I wish I had that confidence where I would write something and my friends would be like, from the creative genius of Geo, the manga geekdom thing. All right, cool.
His first channel.
The last series that we're going to take a look at is one that got really hyped up, but for good reasons, because I think this is really cool. I like this a lot. This is Mamayuyu, or Mamajuju, however you pronounce it. An era of, this is, by the way, written by Yoshihiko Hayashi. The summary says, an era of peace between the hero and demon lord is upon us. In this peaceful world, the hero, Corleo, is nothing but an empty suit. But one day, a hero and a demon lord from another world appear before him. How will Corleo deal with the chaos these invaders bring to this world? A new type of fantasy epic begins. So this was recommended by a lot of famous mangaka recently, like 2 or 3 famous ones. So I wanted to check it out, and this is a world that, yeah, finally found peace after many centuries of fighting between demons and humans, and now they're living together in the cities, in the big city and all that. And the main character is a descendant of the main hero line, and he's got like a marking on his hand which indicates that he is the chosen hero, but he was born in an era of peace. So he has like imposter syndrome and identity crisis because he doesn't really know what to do with the title of being a hero. Everybody's happy and they're praising him, but he doesn't really know what that means. He doesn't feel like it. He's just a regular teenager. And he was an orphan raised by this character over here, who is called, I kid you not, Mamama, or Mamama. I think it's Mamama. That's how we get to the title of the book called Mamajuju.
Mama.
So Mamama is like a 38-year-old demon. Happens to look a little childish, but whatever. That's manga for you. And I like that it's a mother and son dynamic. That's cool. We don't see that often in these types of books for the shonen stuff and battle mechanics and whatnot. So she was the demon lord. She survived. People do resent her, but since everybody's living in peace times, if you will, they don't do much about it. And what else? So yeah, they're living in this peaceful time, and the plot kicks up when a portal opens and a hero from an alternate Earth, I guess, an alternate reality, shows up by mistake, supposedly. And we find out, like, okay, so this book is sort of a reverse isekai. And if he showed up, he's going to attract evil forces. So other demon lords from other dimensions are going to show up, and they're finally going to put our main hero to the test. So, yeah, really fun stuff. And the best thing about this, aside from the quirky plot, is the paneling on this manga really impressed me. It's very unique. I'm going to show you some of the art here, and you can see some of the panels and the way they frame stuff. It even has colored pages, so that's cool. Mamayuyu. I don't know if was it Tatsuki Fujimoto that recommended this one. I don't know. I think it may have been him. You can see some of the art here. I'm going to show. Yeah, go ahead.
I like the art because there's a lot of attention to actually filling out the backgrounds.
Yeah.
Instead of just making it flat, whites and stuff. It pays attention to that, which I think goes a long way.
So here is Mamama,
Mama.
38 years old. Right? Is that how you would say it? Mamama?
Mama.
Mamama. There's many ways to pronounce it if you go the Spanish route.
Mamayuyu.
So let me scroll here. I'm not revealing the big plot twist because there's something really cool that happens at the end of the chapter. But when we get the introduction, here's the hero that shows up from another world. Plus, now the main protagonist has somebody to talk with, similar to how the Spider-Verse movies and how Miles later on finds other spider people to talk to and sort of like bounce off ideas like what it means to be a hero. This is what you get here with these two. And towards the end, when one of the demons shows up, I want to show you that because it looks really cool. They got lightsabers, so it's like Star Wars, but not as confusing and problematic with the fan base. Hopefully. Let's see what else I can say about this. Okay. So check out the bad guys here. This is some gnarly shit. I dug this. I'm like, what in the berserk hell is happening here?
I like the big face just in the middle with the teeth and the giant eyes.
And then this guy over here, this crying fetus thing.
And there's like some like chibi looking chick up above the face.
Right there. Yeah. This one right here.
Like, yay.
So you can see that this is already pretty trippy. Oh, and this is my favorite panel. I love the usage of the boxes here. This is so cool to me.
Yeah, the artist knows what the hell they're doing.
So I really, really urge you guys, out of all these series, I would recommend Mamayuyu the best and the most. It's awesome. Only 2 chapters out now, and again, it's a Manga Plus. You can read it for free. I'm pretty sure this is going to get picked up and released at some point. It has a cool concept and it can appeal to all ages. So I would be on the lookout for Mamayuyu. You can read it now for free. This is a non-sponsored ad for Manga Plus. Mamayuyu, good design. Yeah, totally. And chapter 2 was great. I loved it, but I don't want to ruin it. The other ones were safe to spoil, but this one I think is special to me. So, yeah. Also, I wanted to talk about this just because of the name, but I didn't read it. Vibration Man. There's so much you can do with that name. So many memes and puns. I'm dying to read this. It's about a superhero, and he vibrates.
Don't we all?
Right. So yeah, I'll just leave it at that for your imagination.
Okay.
Maybe I'll read it in a couple episodes from now. I can talk about it, but yeah. Eventually, these books might get collected editions, and you can head on over to a sponsor's website, InStockTrades.com, to check out those physical editions and all the other cool manga that come out weekly. You get your omnibus, trade paperbacks, hardcovers, and more, even manga, with great discounts that range from 42, 50, sometimes 60% off. There's a red tag sale going on with insane books and prices. Go check it out. Loyalty discounts add an extra 2% if you order on a week-by-week basis. Orders of $50 or more gets you free shipping in the US. Fantastic customer service, wonderful packaging. That's InStockTrades.com, the official sponsor of OMNIBROS Live here on the Omnibus Collectors Network. So shout out to ISD.
Good vibration, man.
Let's see. Let's go over some of the comments that I missed while we were typing.
Man.
Do you consider manga made by creators outside of Japan manga? Or do you only consider it manga if it's made and published first in Japan? It's all comics anyways, so
Yeah, I used to be extremely like it's only manga if it's published and produced and whatever in Japan, but like the publishers themselves are getting fast and loose with the term, and like you can't really, if the publishers are doing it, you can't really fight it. But it does just mean comics anyway. And I think that like getting upset about what's called manga and what's not is kind of like leans into being a little gatekeepy with the medium, which like none of us are we're all just readers and like commentators.
we're no authorities on any of this. So.
Right. We're not the authority on like whatever. Like we are the authority on opinions of our own and stuff like that, but we're not the authority on whatever. If the publishers are calling it one thing and the creators are calling it one thing, but also you have to consider that it's not just that there are manga being, because there are series that are made that are stylistically, both in visual and narrative, stylistically they fall in line with manga, like from Japan by Japanese creators, but they're published in the US. Some of them by non-Japanese creators, some of them by Japanese creators who are outside of Japan. Meanwhile, there are some series that are produced in Japan by Japanese studios that are by non-Japanese creators that are doing stuff in Japan. So like, where does it draw? Like, where do you draw the line? Like, does it have to do with their nationality? Does it have to do with where it's published? And that's kind of why I stepped away from being so like stern about what I would consider manga and what's not, because it just, the lines continue to get blurred. There are some things that I'm like I mentioned Saturday AM earlier, and I called that manga inspired international material, because all of it is inspired by manga, but it's published from, or it's written by people from across the globe. Stuff from people in the US, stuff from people in Europe, blah 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 blah. So I usually call that manga inspired. But like, you know, you have a series like Unico Awakening that's by a Japanese artist or artistic team that lives in Japan, and they just happen to do their work for American companies. So it's like, yeah, where do you draw the line? And then like, I think obviously stuff by creators like in the US who are American, but they're Japanese people, like they're American, Japanese Americans, like Larry Hama and Stan Sakai, like that work is very much Western comics. Those are just plain old comics, but it's by a Japanese person. So that's why sometimes people argue about Usagi Yojimbo,
And in that case, I don't think anyone, like the publisher nor Stan Sakai, ever claimed for it to be manga, but there are still people who like to call it manga because it's a Japanese man and it's black and white and it's about a samurai, but it's like stylistically and like narratively and everything, it's not too manga-esque. Like other stuff, like I feel like Empowered is more manga-esque than Usagi Yojimbo is.
Oh, definitely.
So yeah, that it's whatever. And it's not really important. Like you can consider whatever you want. I just don't want to gatekeep something that I don't have the authority to gatekeep. I don't really want to gatekeep anyway, but I don't have the authority.
Speaking of authority, I just wanted to segue. H-Field, if people don't think Kagurabachi can be a shonen, then they'd be clutching their pearls at Requiem of the Rose King being a shoujo.
Yeah, there's a lot of shoujo that people, if you look at it, I think like a general audience might not. They might think that it's like a seinen title, and then you find out, oh, that's a shoujo.
My life has been shattered. What will I do now? How will I continue? Tablet and phone aren't linked either for Manga Plus. Yeah, what I do on the phone does not reflect what I do on the desktop version, which is insane to me. So I think they really need to unify all of that.
Maybe that's what they can do.
Yeah. And it'd be cool if they're like, hey, $2 a month or $1. Sure, why not? I'd be down for that. It's only $2. No more, please. I'm already paying for too many other things. Let's see what I miss here. Yes, Razors looks like colorless. It took me a bit to get into it, but I it's wacky enough that I want to invest in the story. Let's see. Mamayuyu art is very cute. I'm saying Mama Juju, and that's not how you say it because Juju is like J instead of Y, but Mama Juju sounds like something you would say for like Haitians and like voodoo nonsense. So that's why I'm saying Mama Juju. But it is Mamayuyu, like Yu Yu Hakusho. This is the long lost prequel to Yu Yu Hakusho, if you guys didn't know.
Yu Yu
3,000 years before Yu Yu Hakusho.
Juju Hakusho.
Tell that to Jess that manga's pretty much comics. Hey, I showed Jess on Monday Dracula, and he was intrigued. And he kind of maybe he could pick it up. So I'll keep working. I'll keep chipping away and find something.
The issue is just that it reads the opposite direction. He can't. Like,
it's the thing, and I totally get it. That's understandable. But if we can just erase that thing, and he would be a manga collector for sure.
Because it's not like, because he's read stuff, and he watches anime. He enjoys anime. Like, he doesn't have anything against manga. He just literally can't, and he's told us time and time again in private too, like in our group chat. He's like, I can't, like, I want to read this, but I can't get my head around flipping the way that I read.
Yeah.
So it's something that like some people just, they can't do whatever. So it doesn't.
It's happened to me. I've been reading a bunch of books, and then I'm like, oh, let me check out this manga, and for a brief second I'm like, oh wait, I have to like flip it.
Like reading a bunch of manga, and then there's like a K comic in the stack, or like a webtoon or something that I'm reading.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, it's on the other side, because Korean stuff reads the same way that American stuff reads. So like, it is what it is. But Jess has nothing against manga. He doesn't hate manga at all
that we know of. Maybe he has a vendetta and he's root beering all the manga out there.
If there were, if there were a bunch of Western comics that read the other way around, he'd have a problem with those too.
It's like when people get up in arms about calling. I'm not gonna talk about this because I could get into a full hour discussion about this. Never mind. I'll keep quiet. People are gonna get annoyed if I start talking.
They do have different terms for stuff.
I think it's very different, the animation stuff.
they have different terms for stuff in Japan. Like I don't know about animation, but I know like for comics they call them amekomi.
Yeah.
AMECOMI, like American comics. So they refer to things differently out there, just like we do here.
Yeah.
But it's just comics, and it's all it is all animation, but there are certain styles that are like you have very, you know, Eastern styled stuff, very Western styled stuff, but you also have like very European styled stuff that like certain series, like when I first started reading Beastars, I said this feels like a French comic when I was reading it. Like the artwork and the style of that felt like a French comic. It's completely different than being Western or being Japanese or whatever.
Yep. There you go. So if there are no more questions, I think we can wrap it up. We've been going for a while. So I do want to thank everybody in the chat. You guys are lovely as always. William Lee, check out your phone because I'm going to add you to the Pokemon's Goes in a bit. We'll be back next Monday for hauls, previews, reads, and that gift card giveaway. Thanks to In Stock Trades. Thank you to everybody watching later. Let us know in the comment section what you thought of the episode. If you've read the 4 series that I mentioned, what are your thoughts on them? Be interested to find out. You can follow, William T. Dustis. Where can people follow you on the internet when you're not here with us? There we go.
You can find me on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and Instagram at the Omnibus Collector, and on Twitter or X or whatever the hell as Omni Collector. I should have it's rather late, August haul. I'm going to try and put that out tomorrow.
I posted one this week, so you're good. Don't worry about it.
People don't really care. And like the only reason I delayed it this time, because I could have had it out last week, but I wanted to read everything first. And I'm at the, like, y'all saw what I put out there. I'm towards the end of the reading stack. After I get off with Gio here and y'all, I'm going to sit down and read most of this stack before I go to sleep tonight and then finish it off tomorrow. I like to be able to talk about the books whenever I do those videos, because otherwise it's just me being like, look what I bought. But I'd rather be able to say like, this one was pretty good. If you haven't been reading this, blah, 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 blah. I like to give some commentary, you know? So hopefully I'll get that tomorrow. Those are easy for me to film and release. And then the week thereafter, I've already filmed my wish list of Dark Horse titles to get hardcovers. I just need to edit. And so the week thereafter, I was trying to focus on reading and not doing any editing and stuff for this month. So there's that. I'll try and have that next week. What about you, Gio? What you got going on, and where do you have it going on?
I posted my August haul, which I named the last summer manga haul of 2023. Got a bunch of cool stuff. If you want to check that out, appreciate the support. You can follow me on my channel. That's Manga Geekdom here on YouTube, where I talk about manga. I do have that summer manga. No, wait. I do have the summer anime season review coming up, so that's sort of looming behind my back, and it's gonna consume a whole lot of time. But I'm looking forward to putting that out as well. You can follow me on social media. I'm on X Twitter thing, which may go extinct soon. Who knows? I'm also on Threads, Instagram, and I have my own Discord server because I'm vain like that. I kid. James, thank you for putting up the link. You can join the Discord server. It's pretty chill. Got a bunch of nice, wholesome people there talking about anime, manga, toys, video games, that sort of thing. So if you want to hang out and have some fun there, by all means, go ahead and join. And that's it. That's all I got. Also, quick announcement. I'm improvising here. Next week, we're going to do the previews for October. And then in October, we got 4 manga streams. So I had the idea that every week we can dedicate each week to horror-themed manga that we can review and discuss or mention or highlight, promote, whatever. Halloween reads, if you will, all throughout October. So Colleen will be on on some of the episodes, and if not, it'll be the two of us. We can recommend some books and talk about it. I'm probably going to talk about some yokai manga. Cat-Eyed Boy will be mentioned, stuff like that. So hopefully you guys are excited for that. Probably no Junji Ito. That's been done to death. Sorry.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to avoid like
Ito.
a couple years ago I did a video where I said like great horror manga not by Ito, and that's gonna
Not by
be,
Ito. Yeah.
nothing again. And I say in that video, I even wore a Junji Ito shirt just to make sure people didn't think I hated him. But I say in the video, like, we've all read a ton of Ito stuff. We know who he is. We know that he's out there. Let's look
His
at some
stuff is on freaking Hot Topic, for Christ's sake. You know,
Yeah,
he's pretty mainstream now.
he is very much mainstream. Good for him getting that bag.
Absolutely. So, oh, H Field. I don't have them, but Willie does.
Yeah, they send me their books. I would buy them anyway, but they send them to me every time.
There you go. So yeah, we'll concoct that as we go along. What else? One final comment here, being Queenie. I like the commentary in the halls. Helps a lot with letting me know what may be worth collecting or not. I don't do a lot of commentary. I just do goofs and gaffs while I talk about the books. So I don't know if you want to hang out with me while I talk about stuff like I remember this when I was younger. There you go. I'm old.
I try to, or I ultimately, in catching up with my stack again, finally, I want to do, and I've mentioned this before, like I do my monthly buyer's guide, and then I want to do a video that kind of supplements that where I do like first impressions. But honestly, I think that I'm going to wind up doing that at the Comics Beat and doing written reviews. Because when I was talking to their like head lady over there, when I got introduced, she was like, "Hey, how are you?" And I was like, "Hey, this is what I do on my platform personally. I can bring that in written stuff." And she's like, "I'd definitely be interested in that, and we need some reviews." So first volume reviews I might do over there, and if I'm feeling up to it, put it in video format. But at the very least, I do a decent amount of first volume reviews on my TikTok, because those are easy to do over there.
I don't have a image here to celebrate, but yay.
There
you go. Oh, of course I do. Swamp Thing.
Yeah. Hell
He
yeah.
approved.
Swamp Thing. Hell yeah.
Kite there Man. You go. So that's it. That's all we got. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Stay safe. God bless. We'll catch you on the next stream. Bye for now. Goodbye.